Hi, welcome to One Word a Day and happy 4th of July. I applaud you if you still tune in on this holiday. Okay, so I have been doing this one single Chinese character a day for this whole month. I hope you enjoy it. I put a lot of time and thought to it. Today, I'm focusing on two characters actually because they are a pair. And a lot of times in Chinese, after I've been doing this for almost 2 years, I realized I can only gain understanding of something by looking at two things or even multiple things together at the same time, just like what I've been doing, like unpacking what is leisure. We have a door and a tree, and then we kind of figure out what leisure was, how it was defined in ancient times. And today, again, we have to pair the concept of big and small, 大 and 小 together to realize, okay, so this is how the concept, because 大 and 小, however it means a volume or weight or height in whatever dimension it can be used. It is kind of a quantitative thing, right? And big and small. Before, when I never realized this point in language before, and I appreciate that language creators back then have this vision of what is big and small. They're actually all relative. There's no absolute big thing or small thing. They're all in relative terms. Even if in our language, we're used to use just big and small without using bigger than or smaller than, right? But that then, whatever benchmark we're using with was implied always in the language without us being aware of it. And what that most often, that benchmark was measured by the human measurement, like our own height. Then if something is like 2 times bigger than us, then we will regard it as bigger or smaller. So it's all relevant to human measurement. Okay, so 大 and 小. You see the similarities between the two? They all have this. And this hyperbola shape is Chinese character number 8. And I believe this number 8 hyperbola is because number 8 was in ancient philosophy a special point in the development of things that is kind of an inflection point. It can go either way. So there is a kind of a sense of separation with this just numerical number 8. Like in contemporary math education, we don't really tie meaning to characters, right? But in ancient Chinese, each character, like 1 means the heaven, 2 means the earth, 3 means the human, and I forget what is 4, but 5 means the middle point of some, between heaven and earth, the middle point of that. And so 8 is also like in ancient, it's in the whole framework of how to see the world. And this number 8 is this inflection point of, things can go separate ways. And so there's 2 separation things you can see here clearly, right? And then there's this vertical line firmly separating the 2. That means it's permanently separated, means something cut in half. Each, not only is no longer a number 8 character, they are permanently separated. They can no longer be regarded as one unit, even if they are like 2 strokes in separate space. It's not united anymore. So this vertical line means just that. It's a cut in half. Okay, now this, even if this thing kind of looks different, but it's actually, they're combined together. Like this number 8, 2 separate strokes are merged, united on the top portion of it. And you can see this semi-vertical horizontal line, is a combiner of the 2. So that means these 2 separate things end up being bound together or glued together or tied together. Something it does with this horizontal line to make it permanently together. That means 2 parts combined into 1. It's double the original. So this means double, this means half. And that gives you a sense of what it means, like directionally in comparison to the original. If it's double, that means it's bigger. And if it's half, that means it's smaller. And then eventually, we use so much of this concept measuring against us. We're not even aware of this us anymore. Like us means human measurement. And then they just become as if they are absolute terms, like they're big. Something is big, it's just big. We don't even think about it's actually benchmark about against something. And I put a human sign over here just to show you, because according to some scholars, some theories to say, oh, this looks like a human figure. It's kind of a starfish human figure. That was my original understanding. I was misled. And now I see human figure in traditional Chinese written like that. It's not this. This is contemporary simplified streamlined Chinese. This is more nuanced Chinese that define human. It's not just two legs standing being, but the two sides of it has a shorter and a longer, straighter and a curvier side. And that gives complexity of human. And that's a better definition of what human is. And this has nothing to do with this. This came from this number 8 combined. There we go. So now when translate big, we have a ton of translation to match with it. And you can see it's almost like in any kind of metric or dimensions. Large could mean volume, could mean impact, right? And big is, very generic big. And then great, again, it's like a significance is great or something, right? Major, like a major event. So in English, we have all these different words to describe, to use in different context. But in Chinese, we don't bother with that. We use da everywhere. And we just need to pair it with another character, like a guang da. That means large. And zhuang da means big. Ji da means huge or great. Zhong da means major. Gong da means gong is our this relative term marker. I mean, in comparison to something, this is bigger. Okay, and then we have a guang fan or wait, hold on. We just have da. Da can also mean horizontally bigger, right? And huge, like hong da or ju da. Add a certain dimension. If da means double the time, and then if we have a ju and ji da, shuo da, like all these different Chinese characters add weight to it to make, like, I don't know, 100 times bigger or something like that, to give you a sense of the dramatic difference there. And then da can also mean heavy, can mean strong, 强大, right? And then it can mean considerable, which is like a significance, something like that. 重大的, right? Okay, this de is also adjective marker to mean it is adjective. So this is kind of a contemporary Chinese solution, because in ancient Chinese, we don't have that. If it's a noun or adjective, it's all contextualized. You don't need to say it. You can just, our brain were trained to read in the context. We don't even dissect if this is a noun or adjective. Okay, and then da can also mean 最老的, the oldest, and then the coarse or 粗, like a bigger grain. The granularity is bigger, so therefore it's coarse. Like a 大咧咧, it's somebody who doesn't, it doesn't look delicate or something, right? That's coarse. So we can use generate a ton of meaning of that. I didn't put 小 up there. I'm pretty sure with 小, it's also diminishing, smaller, like all kinds of meanings that you can attach to it. So Chinese doesn't bother to create all those variations. But we do have our solution by pairing it with other characters to make a variety of meaning deduced from this simple 2 times meaning of it. And here I put a picture to show everything is in relative to human measurement. Basically, we're measuring against our own height, weight, or other dimensions. And if something looks grander than us, we will say this is da. That as simple as that. Okay. Hashing into the currency of thinking about one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.